Good afternoon, my lovely followers. It's your queen, Sarah. We are back with yet another video. Happy Monday. I hope all of you had a wonderful Christmas. I know I did. I'm kind of bummed that I have to wait a whole another year to have Christmas again. But other than that, I had an awesome time on my little vacation. I really enjoyed it. I had some great food. I got some great presents. I had an awesome time. I hope you guys did the same. In case you can't tell, I hope this doesn't mess up the audio, but it's super windy today. I know, apparently nature is just against me making videos or something. But it's super windy. Hopefully that doesn't affect the audio. I don't know if you hear wind though. Of course, the day that I'm finally back from vacation and filming has to be a windy day. But anyway, let's move on to our topic of the day. Apathy. Apathy. Apathy has swept across this country like a disease, like cancer. It has absolutely infected every aspect of our lives. It is the thing that keeps the sheeple docile while the billionaire class loots them and rakes them over the coals and makes their lives miserable. Apathy is the thing that keeps the sheeple in line. The infectious apathy that just swept its way across the United States for the past century. Americans are honestly pathetic. It's we tolerate things that nobody would have tolerated 100 years ago. We live in a draconian empire. We are witnessing the final corrupt stages of end-stage capitalism, where the billionaire class and the oligarchs finally just go full mask off and decide to just openly rake us all over the coals. And we have an out-of-control empire and a government that takes half our income from us to fund an empire that only benefits the top 1%. It only benefits the oligarchs, the oil companies, and the arms manufacturers, and the military-industrial complex. They're the only ones who benefit. You and I, the common everyday people, we do not benefit. We have to pay for all that. We have to suffer. We gotta slave away at some crappy, thankless job and have half our income taken from us so they can stay in power and have good lives, so the billionaires can have a bigger yacht and a shinier Ferrari. And I don't understand it. I don't know how Americans don't just snap, you know? It's we are being taken advantage of so badly. It's shameless. These people are shameless. It's they absolutely are the worst people on the planet. And they hate you. They hate you, my lovely followers. They hate all of us. They hate everybody who's beneath them. And they run our society to benefit themselves. You know, our society is not run to benefit the bottom 99%. It's not run to make the life as good as possible for as many people as possible. No. It's run by a small handful of elites. It's run by the oligarchs. It's run by the hook-nosed mafia, the Zionists. It's run by a class of people who openly hate us and who do not want what's best for us and who want to make our lives hard so they can make an extra buck. That's what this is. And for the most part, Americans just bend over, spread their cheeks, and take it because they are absolutely hooked on apathy and copium. They have so much apathy, it's just insane. Like, our collective balls dropped off probably around 100 years ago. Around the time of World War I, when we started allowing our children to be used as wind-up toy soldiers to be smashed and thrown away for the elite so they can get rich. So they can have a bigger house and a nicer car, and you get nothing. You get to scrape by, and you get to live in your parents' house till you're 30, and they're going to take half your income, and they're going to make everything more expensive for you. They're going to inflate your currency and make everything way more expensive than it should be. Thankfully, this empire is rapidly heading off a cliff. It's collapsing. China is going to be the #1 superpower soon. And America's falling. And it doesn't really matter how Trump tries to save it. It's not going to work. Like, he only has like 3 years left, and then we're going to get Democrats again. So yeah, good luck. The empire is going to lose. Most people, including myself, to just quit believing in the so-called American dream, because it doesn't exist. You know, it's called a dream because you got to be asleep to believe in it. You got to be asleep to reality to believe in it. And the American dream has all these people, all these liars, all these crooks. People like Dave Ramsey, who want to just promote the system because that's how they make their money. Because they don't want the system to crash. They do not want the system to crash. They want the system to continue because that's how they continue to be on top. That's how they get to go live in the ivory tower with the oligarchs and all the other scumbags who run our society into the ground and who hate us. So yeah, Americans need to ditch the apathy. They need to take a look around and realize that it's not normal. It's not normal to live in a so-called free country with the highest incarceration rate in the world. It's not normal to be forced to pay half your income to an out-of-control government and have everything else be inflated. Because your leaders make careless decisions that make all the rest of us poor. It's not normal for an evangelical cult to control our politics. An end times delusional retarded cult to control our politics. That's not normal. But that's exactly how our society is run. And the American people are plagued with apathy. They are. And I realized this years ago. Like, you have no freedom. Everything is a lie. There's nothing exceptional about America. It's just like every other corrupt craphole country in the world. And is filled with pathetic, apathetic people who are willing to spread their cheeks and let their futures be stolen from them. It's like, you need to realize that the oligarchs and the ruling class hate you. They hate you. They hate you. And they want you divided. They want you to fight over stupid issues like transgenders and all the culture war crap they distract you with, so you can forget how they rake you over the coals every year and how they're the problem in your life. They want you to be worried about trans and China and Muslims and all these things that they want you to be scared of instead of them. Instead of sitting down and critically thinking about how badly your own government screws you every year. That's what they want. They don't want you to be able to sit around the kitchen table and put two and two together and realize who the problem is. Nope. Because they have an empire, because the billionaires and the oligarchs want to maintain their power at all costs. They want you to be their little wage slave and accept losing half your income and everything being ridiculously expensive and you can't get ahead. And oh yeah, they're going to flood your country with a bunch of cheap laborers that will do jobs for way cheaper than you and are going to compete with you for your jobs and make it even more hard for you to get a job. It's like, have you woken up yet? Have you realized, have my lovely followers woken up and realized that this system is completely rigged against them? And it's never going to get better no matter who we elect? Like, I want to be excited for the potential blue wave coming in 2026. But you know what? I just can't be. I just can't be. Because I know the Democrats are just going to be another group of corrupt scumbags who hate us. I know that. And it seems like more and more people are realizing that with each passing day. The scumbags. It's like, I can't emphasize this enough. Like, I say this in also my videos, but they hate you. The powers that be hate you. Whether you're left wing or right wing, they hate you. The oligarchs hate you. And their puppet politicians hate you. They are the ones who rule your life. They are the ones who make it hard for you to have basic things. Who make it impossible for you to have a good job and a house and a life. They're the reason you're stuck with your parents till you're 30 because the economy is broken. And I don't care what the talking heads say. I don't care what the paid off rich people say to continue justifying the system that they want to keep exploiting us with. It's like they're liars. Dave Ramsey's a liar. All the right-wing bootlickers are liars. And so are the left wing. Both sides are full of crap. And Americans are absolutely infested with apathy. They have had their head in the sand for so long. I don't even think most of them remember how to pull it out anymore. Thankfully, that's slowly changing. You know, you see more and more people out there voicing their opinions, speaking out against this corrupt system. People like me. People like other Gen Z YouTubers from both sides of the aisle who are speaking up about this and who are refusing to go quietly, who aren't afraid to say things that might be controversial to some people and might get them in just a little bit of trouble. But that's okay, because that's what the truth does. And our futures are worth taking a bit of a risk. You know, having a future where we can live happily and have what we need and have a roof over our head and not be stuck with our parents till we're 30. Yeah, that's what we want. We want what the boomers had, where you could have one person working a job with no diploma and they can make enough to have a house and a wife and 2 kids and take a vacation every year. That's what we want. But until we break through this apathy, until we decide to finally build the future we want so badly and get off our butts, it's never gonna happen. But that's okay, because you know what? It's changing. Every day I see more and more people who sound like me. People from both sides of the aisle. Left wing, right wing, women, men, straight, cis, all of the above. And we're finally waking up and putting aside these little differences and realizing that the problem is the oligarchs. The problem is Washington. It's not trans people. It's not Iran. It's not Russia. It's not China. It's not Muslims. It is the oligarchs, the puppet politicians, and the Zionist lobbyists. That is the problem. That is the problem. And it's about time we identify that problem. And I don't care. I don't care if I get canceled for saying this. Like, I don't give a crap. My future is worth that risk. Like, being able to have a country where I can live my life and not have to lose half my income every year. Yeah, that's worth it. That's worth taking a risk for. And we need a peaceful national divorce. We need that. We need to just break off of this empire. I mean, if you look at it from the perspective of a simple cost-benefit analysis, well, then it's clear. Like, being part of the empire is not worth it. It's like, what do we get from this? Why do we have all these bases all over the world that our tax dollars pay for? What does it benefit us to be drained of our resources so we can be part of this empire that supposedly fights for freedom, which anybody with a functioning brain knows that is entirely bullcrap? No, it does not defend freedom. I'm sorry, Green ISIS are not in the Middle East to defend your freedom. No. They're there so the oligarchs can expand their power, so the oligarchs can exploit a new group of people and harvest their resources. And that's what they're there for. They don't fight for freedom. They fight for the oligarchs. They fight so they can exploit the poorest people in the world, so the richest people in the world can benefit. That's what it is. And I felt like this message was necessary about the apathy. Like, we have to get rid of apathy. It's like, it is like a cancer in this country. It's apathy. Like, this is not right. This is not the life we're supposed to be living. Like, we could have way better lives if we would just collectively stand up and demand them. And stop with this left-wing, right-wing nonsense. Stop with this culture war distractions and all the grifters on both sides of the aisle who make money from people by spreading division and pushing this divide that the oligarchs benefit from. It's like, no, we need to just come together and break off. We need a peaceful national divorce. We need to balkanize and break up the empire. That is the only way. That is the only way we have some semblance of freedom. That is the only way, like, we have self-determination within our country. We all need to do this. We need to have a movement of this, whether it's left-wing or right-wing. Like, everybody just needs to balkanize. Everybody just needs to move to whatever part of the country agrees with them and then split off. Because that's the only way we're going to have freedom. Because we live in a system controlled by people that hate us, that want to drain everything we have. They want to siphon off your resources and make your life miserable. They profit off your misery. The entire system is designed by the oligarchs to benefit them. I've mentioned it before, we have socialism in this country. But it's not socialism the way most people think of it. It is socialism for the rich. We have socialism for the rich. Because when they run into trouble, like, they get bailouts. When the oligarchs or the arms manufacturers or the oil companies run into trouble, Uncle Sam is there to bail them out with your tax dollars. But when you get into trouble, no one cares. Oh, you can't pay your bills? Well, that's fine. You'll just have to be homeless or go without. So we have socialism. We just have socialism for the rich. And this whole system is run to benefit them. And they ban anybody that could compete with them. Like the cannabis ban. The whole history of the cannabis ban. How it was originally the paper companies that wanted to get rid of the competition. And here recently it's been the big alcohol that bribed corrupt scumbags like Mitch McConnell to ban their competition. That's what they do. They pretend they have a capitalist system, but they don't. if you provide a viable, cheaper alternative to something controlled by the billionaires, they will either somehow swindle you and take control of that resource and monopolize it and monetize the crap out of it, or they will simply make your product illegal because they don't want competition. They don't really believe in a capitalist system. They believe in a socialist system. They believe in one where they pay off their puppets in Washington to ban their competition, to make your life hard for no reason. That's what they do. The oligarchs hate you, and this country is absolutely infested with apathy. Anyway, I think I'm going to bring this to a close. I hope my lovely followers found this conversation enlightening and informative. And I would encourage all of you to please like and subscribe. And I'd also like to thank anyone who's watched this video for your support. I hope all of you had a good Christmas. I hope all of you have a good, productive week and a happy new year. And we're off.